Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Co-op Podcast, episode 141. I'm your host, Richard Bailey Jr., and today I'm joined by Mr. Gary A. Swaby. What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's up? Good to be back again. I'm excited to have these two people on the show, so let's get cracking.
Yes, definitely. We're also joined by Mr. Anthony Frazier. What's up, Anthony?
What's up? What's up? Sorry I can't be on cam. I'm at home today. I'm not, I'm back in Jersey hanging out and getting ready for this conference, man. That's it. Got a conference on Monday. Been working real hard. So I'm just relaxing for the day as much as I could. And glad to be here.
Yes. And we have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Torrance Davis. What's up,
Hello,
Torrance?
people. First, I want to thank y'all for having me on the show. I've really moved on up now that I'm finally on the Co-op podcast. I know this podcast tends to be controversial, and that's my middle name. I see that you guys have been consumed by the comment section from the Throwdown.
Uh-oh. Well, not all of us, but some of us, I guess.
Well, no, not you, but people from the Throwdown coming over and jumping into your comment section.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Watching all this grow, it's funny to me.
Yeah, that's one of the great things because the Throwdown was established over on your site. And
Yeah.
When it came over, we got a lot of new, fans and commenters and stuff as well.
Yep.
Added on to our own audience. So
Yep.
great that there was that fusion there.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. So we got a couple of topics to discuss today, but before we get into that, of course, we have to discuss what we have been playing. How about you go first, Torrance? Let us know what you've been playing.
I've been playing Halo 5 Warzone. A little bit of Arena, but mostly Warzone. And I've been getting jacked up, too. I do so much better in Arena than I do in Warzone, but Warzone has so many people running around. It's like you run out, you got somebody on your sights, and then somebody on your right or left or behind you shoots you and kills you. I've just been getting jacked up. But I have been recording some of those epic moments. If you watch my feed on Twitter, I did my Halo first week, and I had a bunch of crazy stuff there. I even had a Marine killing me. So that's all I've been playing. Halo 5.
Yeah, so would you say game of the year so far?
No. I'd say multiplayer of the year so far. I wouldn't say game of the year. Right now, if I had to vote on game of the year, I would probably give it to Bloodborne.
Okay.
Because that game, I haven't beat Bloodborne, but it's just an absolutely fantastic game, and it's beautiful. However, there's two things that are coming out this year that are probably going to take that title. One of them is Star Wars Battlefront, and the other is Just Cause 3. And it'll probably be Just Cause 3. I'm sure it will be Just Cause 3 for me, personally. Because I love open world games where you can do crazy stuff. I don't play
Fallout, bro.
Fallout. No, I'm not a big Fallout head. I like it. I haven't finished 3 yet. I'm not a huge Fallout head. I may be someday if I ever get back to finishing 3 and decide to buy 4 on Steam for real cheap. But I know what I like to do, and like I was telling people on the Warzone, I don't even play a single player campaign in GTA games. What I tend to do is go in there and fuck around. I did the same thing in Watch Dogs. I started playing the campaign, it was cool, but then I just said I just want to fuck around in the city and wreak havoc. And that's what I do, and that's really fun for me. And while Watch Dogs and GTA weren't really made for that, Just Cause is. Just Cause is built for you to go into that open world and wreak havoc and have fun. Who cares about the storyline? Blow shit up. That's what that game's all about. Steal cars, climb on buildings, fly, hook people up, figure out different ways to destroy stuff. To me, Just Cause 3 is a better game than GTA because there's more interaction with the world. Where GTA, all the interaction is with the characters or the cars. But the buildings are just like concrete blocks that you can't really do anything with. Whereas Just Cause is you have the cars, you have the buildings, you have the people, except now you can destroy the buildings, you can destroy environments, you can do crazy stuff. So that's my type of game. I love it. So I'm sure Just Cause 3 is going to be my game of the year.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to that game too. I haven't played any of the others though, so yeah. I still am impressed with what I see from this, so looking forward to it.
Yep.
How about you, Anthony Frazier? What have you been playing?
I've been playing that new Diddy mixtape called Money Making Mitch. Basketball. I've been kind of consumed with NBA 2K, man, to be honest. And that's about it. I don't really have time to play as much as I want to play because of this conference, so I've just kind of been consumed with that one game. But I have to also admit that I'm not a fan of Halo, and that's part of the reason why. You know, I'm really not a big fan of that game, and so I had no desire to go pick it up at all. That's a big. I might surprise some people, man, because a lot of people like to throw me in the whole Xbox pot and shit like that. But to be honest, I just had no desire to play Halo right now. Am I gonna play it? Yes, but I'm not in the rush. Like, I'll probably pick up Tomb Raider before that. Probably pick up Star Wars before that. Be honest with you. You know, I'm really not in the rush. You know, and so I'm definitely gonna pick up Fallout before that. You know, I'll get to Halo when I get to it. That's the way I feel about it. So that's it.
And I'd like to note that if Tomb Raider was coming out for the PC this year, that might be my game of the year.
Oh, well, don't worry. It'll be out in January, February of next year.
Yeah, but it's going to be whack. It's going to be like, all it's going to do is come with DLC, you know?
I don't care. I just want it on PC.
Are you not one of those guys who hold the grudges?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those dudes on NeoGAF hold grudges for like 8 months.
Yep. I ain't worried about that. I got plenty to play for me right now. I could wait for Tomb Raider. I waited for GTA. Well, I didn't really wait for GTA. I bought GTA 3 fucking times. But, well, actually, one of them was free. But I can wait till next year to play Tomb Raider. But because Tomb Raider isn't multiplayer, see, when it has multiplayer, I got to be like, okay, are there going to be more people on console or PC? It doesn't have multiplayer. It's a single-player experience for me. I don't care about the multiplayer, so I could wait for the PC version. No big deal.
Yeah.
I asked Aaron Greenberg, when the hell is it coming out for PC? He says he doesn't know yet.
He knows. He just,
sometime next year. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yo, I'm surprised.
Oh, everybody dropped out. Is it me?
I would love to talk about Quantum Break.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly coming to the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole thing, and Alan Wake 2, he talked about that too. So hopefully we can bring that up during the discussion. Definitely.
We definitely will. All right, Gary, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so I beat Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I have to say that was definitely one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, period. Probably my number 2 now. Last week I said it was like number 4, but after beating it, I feel like it's number 2.
But isn't it your number 6?
Number 6? What, you mean because there's so many of them?
Did you beat Unity?
No, I that's the only one I didn't actually properly beat. But, I beat all the other ones.
Interesting.
I can definitely say that this is one of the better ones, and it's a big step up compared to Unity. So
I think you should finish Unity and come back to this.
We talked about this on the other podcast when you talked about how Assassin's Creed is pretty much Madden, as far as being an annual game. And so, do you feel like it's a Madden? Do you feel like you want to buy an Assassin's Creed every year?
See, I do think they need to take a break because, it's definitely too much at this point. But, I am a fan of the series. But
if you're enjoying the games, is it really too much? I mean, because you just said, it's the best one ever, and then next year you might say the same thing.
Well, I mean, it does also depend on the actual quality of the game. I mean, I'm not just going to blindly say that it was, the best one every year. or anything like that, because there have been weak ones like Revelations that totally didn't need to exist. Assassin's Creed 3 was weak, but I just generally enjoy the gameplay and the RPG elements of the game. So I think that's why I choose to keep buying it every year. But I do recognize that they need to take a break with it, because I feel like they need to create that demand for the series again. And I feel like if they take a break and put all their time into creating the best Assassin's Creed game we've seen in years, then it'll be much more appreciated, because that appreciation level has kind of dipped now because of Unity. So they need to fill that back up again, because there are a lot of people that didn't even buy Syndicate because of what happened with Unity. So
And that's too bad.
yeah, definitely.
But I will say that going back and playing Unity after, like, again, I got the PC version. I didn't run into all the same problems that a lot of the console cats are running into. It seems to run perfectly fine now. So whatever they did, So I tell everybody that's an Assassin's Creed fan, please finish Unity and come back and tell us what you think. I didn't finish it, so I can't tell you. But since you're a fan, I think you should go back and beat Unity.
Yeah, I definitely plan to. I actually was going to, but I lost my PS4 copy, so I'm probably going to rebuy it on PC.
I thought you were about to say you lost your PS4. I was going to say, how'd you lose it? Anybody see the PS4? I had it in my room.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
You could probably pick it up on Steam really cheap, probably for the Christmas sale.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the sale to go out, and then I'll probably pick that up.
Mm.
But besides that, I've also been playing Fallout 4 because I'm reviewing the game. I can't talk about it yet, so yeah, just know that the review is coming on Monday. So yeah, that's it. That's all I've been
PC
playing.
or PlayStation 4?
PC.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah. How about you, Rich?
So, I have been playing 2 games. I've also been playing a game that we can't talk about, Fallout 4. Let me just say this right now. I can't talk about it technically, but I'm going to tell you this. The game looks great on all platforms. So we'll put that to rest right now.
Oh, you got it like that?
Oh, no, I'm just saying. It looks good on all platforms. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I will have something to say on Monday. We are allowed to say the embargo lifts on this upcoming Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check out for that. And I'm actually writing something else about it. So just stay tuned for that on Monday morning.
When does it come out?
Tuesday, the 10th.
Oh shit! Let me see if I can get me a copy.
That's gonna fuck Tomb Raider all up.
No, I don't think it will.
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Hey, Aaron Greenberg says that he's not worried about that because I saw an interview. He said, we're aware of Tomb Raider's coming out, but we're not worried about it.
Just in the mall, my dude. I saw Fallout shit everywhere, yo.
Let me tell you, this is what I made.
Hot topic and seen Fallout shit.
We talked about this, about games. We always have this thing every year during Christmas when games are both released at the same time that they're going to hurt each other. People who want Tomb Raider, people who want Fallout, and then you have the people who want both games. Gamers budget, especially during Gamageddon. The gamer isn't walking around with $60 trying to figure out which one game he wants to buy for the holidays. I don't think Fallout 4 is going to hurt Tomb Raider sales. I think people who really want Tomb Raider are going to get it. People who really want Fallout are going to get it. People who really want both games are going to buy both games. I can see people buying both games. Tomb Raider you could probably beat in 8 to 10 hours, whereas Fallout you really got to grind. So I could see people getting both games and finishing Tomb Raider first, and then jumping into Fallout. I don't think it's going to hurt sales at all. I just want to say that.
No, I agree. I agree with that. It shouldn't, because I know that I definitely would buy both. I'm getting Tomb Raider, so yeah, definitely. The other game I haven't played.
Both too. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy both games, especially over Halo. But yeah.
Oh, whoa, ooh. The heat against Halo. You gonna get some comments about that, and
I don't think so though. I don't think so.
Everybody has a preference, man.
Well, no, because the thing is this: there are certain people in the comment section that like to force their preference upon everyone else. we'll have to see how that goes.
Shout outs to the comment section. The ones who, yo, you know what's crazy about the comment section, man? I be reading them shits. I don't ever really comment. I be reading them shits, man. Y'all swear y'all know better than everybody, bro.
That's
y'all
the way
like
it works.
Y'all like the elitist gamers. Like y'all sit around a round table of gaming justice and shit, and just like you like the judges and the execution all at the same time. Like you guys run this shit. And I enjoy it. It's actually entertainment. You know, I remember a time when we were doing the Koalition, we would do podcasts on this site. We wouldn't get any comments. So just to see people disagreeing with us is quite hilarious. Because before we could just get away with anything we wanted to say. So
I remember those days, man.
It's absolutely true.
It's nice to have contrasting opinions.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Let me just say this. I remember the days of listening to Warzone as well, and it's like 1 million comments on this shit on the bit bag.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And with
Every
the Warzone,
episode was really, truly a war zone, man. So like,
Yeah.
the Warzone, they're commenting in the show because it's a live show, so they're like all commenting at the same time and stuff.
Yeah. It was crazy. Which is funny because when we were doing the podcast last night, Hip Hop Gamer was doing his Black Ops 3 stream.
Oh,
And I said, I wonder if hip hop flips out over everything when he streams a new game still. And I went and I hit play, and he was going crazy, right? And it was a cutscene. And I'm like, it's a fucking cutscene, and he's going nuts. This dude ain't changed. He cracks me up, man.
hip hop will always be the same, man.
Yeah,
I saw a video on YouTube. I think it was like a PlayStation ad.
Yeah.
And I think they actually used him in the PlayStation ad to hype up one of their games. And he was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
really?
my God, it's so hot! Oh my God!" Like, my brother was like, "Isn't that hip hop game?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my dude." That's what's up.
Oh, man, he's funny.
yeah, Rich, I guess you can finally say what other game you've been playing.
Oh, yeah, no, just real quick. I don't need to say much about it. I've been playing WWE 2K16.
Lord.
Yeah, now I'm fully aware that the product is horrible now, that the actual product itself is bad, talking about wrestling, but the game is good, so I give 2K props on that. It's not perfect. They still need to fix some stuff. But I'll have some thoughts on that as well this week, so stay tuned for that.
Is that out?
Oh, yeah, it's out.
How's the character creation tool?
It's pretty good.
Does anybody here play Fire Pro or played Fire Pro Wrestling?
Actually, yeah, I played that. I played a lot of the games.
That was a good one. I'm a big Fire Pro fan, so I like to get in there and like spend a good 30, 45 minutes creating my character and putting all the moves down. So I've been waiting to get a WWE game, another one, a newer one, to play that. So it's good hearing from you that it's a good game, and yeah, I want to put Big T back in the wrestling circuit because I make all my characters look just like me.
Oh yeah,
So,
you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
I would recommend, obviously, Black Friday coming up. Get the game for cheap.
Yep.
I still don't think it will. I will say it's worth spending the full price, but because I mean it has a few issues, but not really any significant issues. It's just small stuff here and there, but it's good. Yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and let's start getting into these topics. I'm gonna rearrange this list a little bit because I saw what you titled the episode, Gary. So we need to have that discussion a little bit later. Let's go ahead and let's get with the stuff that doesn't matter, such as this here. We're gonna just get the controversial stuff out the way. Apparently, there is a Gamergate movie that is going to be made, and Scarlett Johansson is going to be in it. So,
Jesus.
I'd like to ask you guys, what do you think of this?
Is it movie worth? I mean, it's definitely like I get the issue, but a movie like what?
I tell you what, I already know what's gonna happen. I thought this was a joke. Is this for real? They're making a Gamergate movie. Is this really happening?
Apparently so. Apparently it's real.
And she's got.
I thought it was a joke too, to be honest.
I'm willing to bet money that she's gonna play Zoe Quinn in this movie.
Well, you know what? I would like to say this. That definitely will not be realistic because she is way more attractive than Zoe.
What do you think is going to be the storyline? Like, what is going to be?
It's gonna be Zoe Quinn.
I'm thinking, because they got that Steve Jobs movie, like I guess they want to make some other type of realistic movie, kind of in that tone, I guess. But I really don't know how they could like pace this movie, like, and make it appealing.
That's what I'm thinking.
Fuck appealing. This movie is gonna be totally against Gamergate, and it's gonna screw up the whole everything that Gamergate started, and all the reasons why Gamergate started are all gonna get just totally confusing, and they're gonna screw everything up, and they're gonna tell people that Gamergate's bad, and they're a bunch of internet terrorists. You know that's gonna happen. This whole movie is gonna make Gamergate look bad, and I'm not really a Gamergate supporter, but I understand what they're doing, and I kind of do support it because I don't really think. Here's my whole thing. I don't really think that the press has to be totally transparent with everything, to be honest with you. I think the press's job is to relay information to their readers, but as far as who they're having sex with or whether or not they got the game for free, I don't believe they need to disclose that information. But I do understand that people in the press, when they're writing these articles, they should be honest. I do believe that they should be honest. So I understand a lot of the reasons why Gamergate, came to fruition. They want honesty. Honesty doesn't necessarily mean transparency. Transparency is letting them know everything. You don't have to let them know everything, but you do have to be honest with your message. And of course, that whole message got mixed up and screwed up because the social justice warriors made us look bad because of the assholes that are out on the internet doing that asshole-ish shit and waving the Gamergate flag. It makes all the Gamergate people look bad. So I tend to believe that this movie is going to make Gamergate look bad, and I'm willing to bet money. I'll bet fucking money that Scarlett Johansson is going to play Zoe Quinn, because if you look at all the stories surrounding Gamergate, the only truly significant one is Zoe Quinn. And that's how the whole thing got started. It wasn't Anita Sarcastic. It was fucking Zoe Quinn. I guarantee you she's going to play Zoe Quinn. If this is true.
Is that her real last name? But listen, man. I mean, I get the Gamergate story too. Like I got where you were going, and that's when I'm sort of on the same page with you, man. And honestly, I'm just no fool, right? And there are obviously people. I won't call anyone out specifically, but there are obviously a lot of different people who use this as a personal platform.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, and so I'm not a fool, and I think that some people are being made, a lot of gamers and a lot of people who support, those people's side of the argument got played for being fools, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I've seen people start all types of new projects, start all new careers off of this. Like, and I'm not saying that you don't have to base your life to fight this cause, but it's just weird. I just think some people just used it purely as just a way to build a platform for themselves and nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's just my take on it. I definitely think if you are a genuine person and you genuinely have a position on this topic, then that I respect that. But there's definitely some people who just use this to promote themselves, and shame on you.
I would like to respond to that direct what you just said. Well, I think anyone that used this as to basically create their own platform, that's something they will have to live with down the road, because again, there were positives and negatives to that. But again, we're not naming names, as you said. I wish everybody well. As for this particular thing, I understand both sides of the argument, but I just want this thing to be over with. Can't we just play games and have fun? Why is there always controversy with the games where you see, I don't like how they portray women in the game. I don't like how they portray so and so. I mean, let's just play games and have fun.
But those are legitimate. To some extent, those are legitimate arguments, right? Because, I mean, I care how they portray black people in the game. I was just looking at Overwatch, the Overwatch trailers online, and I was looking at one of the characters. I forgot, it was the one who rollerblades and he dances and shit. I was like, that looks so coonish to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? Like, he started breakdancing when he was killing his teammates.
It's just as bad as what's the black character in Street Fighter 3? The kid that was kind of like Ryu. What was his name? He had the yellow suit on and he used basketballs. So
I don't even remember that.
I'm a big fan of Street Fighter 3. It's one of my favorite in the series. But I'm playing this character, and one of his moves is like throwing a basketball at you, and I'm like, really, Capcom? Really? Do we always got to put some type of stereotype in your fucking characters?
Yo, Japanese developers love to put afros on black people. Like,
it's amazing to them. Yeah, I think it's Sean. Sean is the character's name. He's a Brazilian Japanese fighter. He's black. Let's get real. Who becomes Ken's self-appointed apprentice.
Okay.
And there's a move where he throws a fucking basketball at you, and I'm like, really?
Yo, man, it's to the point where, so that's what I'm saying, Rich. I get the arguments, but and I think it's legitimate arguments to have, but yeah, it got out of control at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it stopped being a constructive, productive conversation that would eventually lead to solutions, to just being some movement without a destination. That's what I think personally. So
kind of like modern day feminism.
I won't comment on that.
And I know this.
I that, but I'm not gonna say.
I suppose.
Well, there's two forms of feminism. There's real feminism and there's fake feminism, and the one that gets the loudest voice is the fake feminism.
There's definitely fake activists. There are definitely Twitter activists out there. Yep. There are people who are on Twitter and they think that they're changing the world one tweet at a time. And don't get me wrong, I do think Twitter is an effective tool to communicate and organize, no doubt about it. But there are people who just stay there and they don't want to put in no real work to make it. Like at some point you have to get from behind the mobile phone or get from behind the desktop computer and get out on the street
and get your hands dirty.
I'm
so glad you brought that up, because I've been saying, I'm like, you cannot use Twitter to make change. You cannot use Facebook to make change. You can't change the world saying, I like this, or I hate this, or I think this needs to be changed. You need to get out there and do something. And all these people, like the ones you're talking about, they're getting on these social media saying, I don't like this, this is wrong, we need to do something about this. But they're not out there doing anything about it. They're just posting on Twitter and Facebook. Just like you said.
But what's crazy is that it does have an effect sometimes, right? And so I'll give an example. They call them, a vocal minority, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the term that the industry has given, especially in the video game industry. They call, so NeoGAF will be the vocal minority, right? So we don't like something, right? And then all of a sudden everybody has a hashtag going, and then it gains traction, unfortunately or fortunately.
Good point.
And so it now forces the hand of someone like Microsoft to say, or at least if Microsoft doesn't make a change, at least forces them to make a statement.
Right.
Or it forces Sony to make a statement, even if they don't make a change.
Right.
And so that vocal minority is dangerous to some extent, because they could potentially influence the shape of industry or a generation when they're just a minority. Like they don't, they don't even represent a large part of the gaming audience. But yet they are they want Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo to make all the decisions based on their preferences. And so, and those are hardcore preferences, but hardcore, we all know hardcore isn't the largest, you know, purchases of video games. And so,
Right.
I have to live with that. You know, it's sad, but we got to live with that. I just saw a stat that came out not too long ago that said women are the largest group of console owners this generation, I think. So
That's a lie.
that's a lot. It's a lot of
I'm
people.
not being sexist or anything, but you know, every time I go to a midnight release, I don't see any women. And when I see a long line full of like with 50 to 100 people, we know. And this isn't sexist. It's not like ignorance or anything. But that statistic is completely wrong.
Yeah,
Women have always played games,
yeah.
but they've always been in the minority as far as ownership or purchasing games.
So I have to look up that stat to really, really super duper jump behind.
I saw that.
Oh, you saw
that. I saw that. I know what you're talking about, and a lot of people were saying, "Well, yeah, if Mother Mary buys her son a console, she's considered a purchaser of a console." Yeah, so I know that's what they're including in their statistic, and that's so I'm like, is this right? Because I know a lot of women play video games and a lot of women buy consoles, but to say that more women buy consoles than guys, I just can't believe it. Guys have had a stigma for years for being gamers. Like, we can't get dates because we're gamers and stuff. You can't tell me that more women are buying fucking consoles than guys. I just don't believe that.
That sounds like a good podcast episode too, like dating and gaming. Yeah,
it doesn't exist.
That's a discussion needs to be had, though. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, if you're dating a gamer, it works, but you know, you should do a poll on your site and find out how many of the fans that go to your site have significant others.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting.
Leave a comment and let us know. Like, how many of you guys, you know, got somebody?
I do.
Raising his hand. I know Gary's engaged.
No.
What? Really? I didn't know. Congratulations, dude! I didn't even know you were dating. That's cool.
He's joking.
All right. Oh, he's joking. Oh. Sorry.
That's going to take a while to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, could there be a Tinder for gamers?
There could be.
You know,
Take the app, Anthony.
Hold on a second. Now you know Tinder.
You gotta make that app.
You know Tinder got its ups and downs though, so I don't know what the ups and downs would be to the gaming part of that.
Maybe it wouldn't be for strictly dating. Maybe it would just be like, I'm looking for gaming, you know, partners to play games with, but it'd have to be females or males. You can choose which one you want, but make it just all about friendships more than so relationships at first.
I'm looking for somebody to go to midnight launches with me.
Yeah. Call it Midnight Buddy. Oh no, never mind.
Whoa.
You should call it gaming and chill.
It definitely needs to be a Netflix and chill app. I'm pretty sure somebody's working on it right now. So I'm pretty sure somebody's working on a Netflix and chill app. Cool. All right, I think we're done on this topic, man.
Do you have anything to add, Gary? Or are you good?
No, just because Torrance just linked the article that said, you know, Scarlett Johansson is apparently going to play Zoe Quinn. Yeah. And the only thing I have to say is that would be like a big blemish on her resume if she does take that role. Like, I don't understand why you would even want that role.
I could tell you why, because she doesn't know what the hell Gamergate is. She has no idea.
It's just a effect to her, basically, I guess.
The movie's going to be about all the things that caused Gamergate. It's going to be her dating the writer from Kotaku shit, and all that stuff's going to happen, and how all the emails, all that's going to happen, and then there'll be some Gamergate stuff in there. It's going to be a stupid love story. Watch.
It's going to be the most boring movie in the world.
Yeah, and Kotaku shit's going to get some light, too. They're going to get some shine because they're involved. Sort of. It's really sad. It really is. And I can't get involved to make a movie. This is ridiculous.
Well,
don't you think Hip Hop Gamer needs a movie? He needs a biopic?
What's that gonna be? He's hyping up every game he plays his whole life.
I could seriously write a biopic about Hip Hop Gamer and how he got in the industry. I've been thinking about it and what it would take to actually film this movie.
You should do that, man.
Yeah,
Straight out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I could do it. I could show him on that potato cam on his first video. It was all dark and murky, and how he moved up and got better cameras and bought better equipment, got better belts, started going to shows, making connections. It could be, and everybody would watch it because it would be hilarious.
I think it could be like a documentary or something, maybe. But
I think biopic would be better. Because there's certain things that happen that you'd have to recreate.
Yeah, that's
Like
true. Yeah, because you haven't got the footage of those moments. So.
Yeah, like when he ran into that meeting with all the Konami execs and gave the president his belt. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. Because you know how when you go to E3, they got the offices, or the rooms, the meeting rooms where all the execs and people go. All these guys in suits were standing there. Most of them were Japanese, and he ran in there and he gave one of the guys his belt, and I guess it was the president of Konami. I stayed out in the hallway. I was like, I can't believe he's doing this. This is the first time. This is like right after the first time the first time I met hip hop was in LA for that trip, and he was just going nuts, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I can't believe he just ran in there, broke up that meeting, and gave that guy his belt. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what's he doing? What are you doing, hip hop? You can't do that. But because they were Japanese, they were just like, oh, this is cool, you know. Plus that belt. How many people get to see a real wrestling belt, you know? So I'm like, oh man. And there's that time me and him had breakfast at the Philadelphia video game, and I literally talked him out of carrying the belt to the show with him. I said, it's fucking stupid. Don't do it. It's not you. You don't need that to break a conversation with somebody. It's just like, just do your thing. You don't need this. This isn't even your belt. It says WWE on it. It's fucking stupid. Vince got to sue you, right? So we had this long conversation, and I actually got him to leave the belt at the hotel. It was really hard for him to do, and he did it. And he went to the show that day, and then the day after that, he had the belt again. Because he couldn't take it anymore. It was just funny. But it was a long breakfast conversation I had with him. I'm like, dude, you don't need this object to make it in the industry. Just be yourself. You're crazy. That's what people love about you.
Yeah.
He says, okay. And then he finally pulled the belt back out after they couldn't take it. It was hilarious. There's all these little things that have occurred that you could recreate and put in a movie. It's just fucking hilarious. I didn't ask you guys, is there swearing allowed on the show?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
You know, I talk like a fucking sailor.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Of course.
I don't want you to have to edit it.
Oh no, none of this is edited. This is live. It's,
Okay, great. I don't really. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really have time to listen to all the podcasts. So what I do is I go to the podcast and I look at the list of things and I skip through to the interesting things I want to hear. You know, and that's what I do because I just don't have the hours to listen to all these podcasts anymore.
Yeah, so podcasting is not gonna. It's actually getting more popular by the day now. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of competition out there.
Plus, I got to do a show, you know, and I'm just like, oh, it's Friday. What am I going to talk about tonight? That's what I do every week. Like, what's there to talk? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That happened too.
Exactly. So what else is on the menu? You guys got Halo 5?
Oh no, we're gonna get to Halo 5. Don't worry. I know you got a lot to say about that. Let's finish off some of these other ones real quick. What do you guys think about Activision buying Candy Crush developer King for $5.9 million? I believe it. No, billion.
No, billion.
$5.9 billion. Yes.
They overpaid.
Yeah. What do you say, Anthony? They overpaid.
I mean, I don't really got too much to say about that, to be honest. Like, I mean, overpaid, I can understand that, definitely. But, I mean, the only thing I got to say is if you're listening to this show right now, you need to be going to Unity. .com. You need to be downloading some tutorials. You need to be at least going to Upwork.com and hiring somebody, and you need to be making a mobile game. Because I swear, Candy Crush is not even like the concept isn't new. You feel me? Like, yo, anybody could have done that.
There's a reason why they're making a mobile version of Baku Baku. They're doing another Baku Baku. Baku Baku is pretty much, and I won't say it's the one that started it all, but Baku Baku was one of the better gem games because it had a twist where it wasn't gems, it was actually vegetables and fruits, and that's what Candy did. It used candy instead of vegetables and fruits or gems. It used candy, but it's the same thing that these companies have been making for years, and for some reason it went crazy.
I'm not gonna front. I'm getting involved with a new game that's gonna come out on mobile soon, and it's I can't talk about it yet, but it's definitely based on a Neo Geo game. So, look, I don't reinvent the wheel. I put rims on them.
Right, there you go.
That's it.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, I think the integration with Facebook is what really helped Candy Crush get to the next level and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Facebook?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely Facebook. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. I keep getting invites to that bullshit.
I'm still getting notifications.
Invites.
I'm like, oh. Rich, he's laughing.
Hey, no, he right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I got an invite earlier today, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted to ask though was like, do you guys think that they waited too long to make this deal? Because like Candy Crush was popping from like years ago, like 2 years ago or something. Like, why now? Is it still making that much money that they're like, oh, you know what?
Yes, because they make tons of money on microtransactions.
Yeah. At the same time, I still think it's a very dangerous deal to make. Because I'm looking at Zynga. I'm looking at, a lot of these times when people buying these popular games, like when Zynga bought, I think it was Draw Something, and then that shit just went flat.
Yeah.
Like this shit happens. I think Zynga had bought Words with Friends, and then you never heard about that shit again. Like this happens, and so to me, I just feel like you're gambling if you're buying something, based on one title, especially for this much. Like I understood the Microsoft one because they probably made that money back already, or they're gonna make it back soon.
Yeah.
They're making money off Sony right now.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah, Minecraft was a very smart buy. I'm just not sure if Candy Crush has Minecraft swag or pizzazz. Yeah, like how do you make that money back with Candy Crush? Like I get how you make it back with Minecraft. I just don't get how you make it back with Candy Crush.
How much money did Microsoft pay for Minecraft? Was it $10 billion?
Man, I forgot. What was it?
Serious numbers.
Wasn't it like 50 million? I can't remember.
It wasn't 50 million. It was definitely $1 billion. I think it was like $4 billion or something. I think it was like it wasn't like 5 or something.
It was $2.5 billion.
4.5?
$2.5 billion. So you think about Minecraft's on every platform you can think of. $2.5 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Candy Crush is on 2 platforms. Unless they released it for PlayStation, and I don't know about it. Candy Crush is Android and Apple, right? Candy Crush makes its money off microtransactions because once you lose all your turns, you gotta I need more turns. I gotta keep playing this game. Here's what Activision is gonna do, and I see why they bought the game, the company or whatever.
Facebook is growing.
Well, Facebook is, but not only that, but all they have to do is release Candy Crush 2. All the crack addicts will get the game and start buying microtransactions again. Smart move. But they just paid too much money for it. I could see them paying $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion for the franchise, but the amount of money they paid for that, oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Well, you gotta remember as well, King actually does have other apps that do really well, and they have all
Yes, that's
microtransactions
true.
as well.
That's true. You're right.
And one other thing to add to that, Activision, they can afford it because Destiny is a success.
Yeah.
Call of Duty just dropped.
Yep.
That's a success. So they got the money.
Yep. They do.
I do feel like they did overpay though.
They overpaid, man. Call of Duty makes them what? Maybe $1 billion? Like, if that, you know what I mean? If even that, like $5 billion, man.
Yeah.
They're banking on the growth of Facebook, man, with a lot of the other things you guys have said as well. But these things can fall flat in an instant, man.
Oh, yeah, it's a gamble.
It's just almost like a bad curse. It's almost like a curse. The moment you buy it, it just gets whacked. Microsoft is lucky. You know, I was just in the Android marketplace and I saw that even the Telltale Games Minecraft Story Mode is one of the highest, selling games right now. And I was just like, wow, like they knew what they were doing with that IP all together. And so I just don't see how Candy Crush does that. But I could be proven wrong, man. I think it's all about Facebook. I think it was Facebook for them.
Definitely.
And also, Activision, they own Blizzard as well. So maybe they're looking at it from they want to dominate all areas, like because Blizzard focuses on like the MMO type tournament type of players on the PC, and then you got the Call of Duties and all those other games that appeal to consoles and PC, and then this would be for the mobile market. So maybe they just want to cover all bases. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's go ahead and let's move on to the next topic because I know everybody is anxious to talk about Halo 5, but we're not going to talk about Halo 5 yet. We got to talk. Yeah. Okay. How about this quote that you provided, Gary? Sony marketing manager says that the shooter audience has now switched to the PlayStation 4. Do we agree or disagree with this?
I disagree. Here, I'll tell you why I disagree. I don't even know why Sony's saying this right now. We're literally 2 years into this generation. They're saying the shooter audience has switched to the PS4. Yet when you look at Destiny numbers, whether it's digital or hard copy, doesn't fucking matter. Xbox has many times outsold PlayStation for Destiny, which is ironic because Sony has a Destiny marketing deal. So how are people buying more copies of Destiny on Xbox than PlayStation 4? Then you got more exclusive shooters on Xbox still. But I mean, I'm not saying it's the same as it was last gen. Maybe it has switched a little bit just because PlayStation has more numbers out there. But I think it's too early for anybody to say which console is the shooter console of this generation. Black Ops is a multi-platform title. Pretty much every shooter out there is multi-platform, except for Halo and Killzone. If you want to throw Uncharted games into that mix, well, you got Uncharted on Sony, you got Gears on Microsoft. So I think it's too early for them to determine that Sony is now the shooter console. I don't think that makes any sense. And I don't ever think that Microsoft ever called the Xbox the shooter console. It was always fanboys calling the Xbox the shooter console. And now you look, even back then, there was tons of shooters on PlayStation. But you look now, there's a ton of shooters on PlayStation 4, but that doesn't mean it's the shooter console because all of these shooter games are selling well on both platforms.
You know what? That comment to me just confirms something I've known all along. You guys may agree or disagree.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation wants to be Xbox.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that. And I said at the beginning of this generation when Sony announced all their features for the PlayStation, one of the biggest ones that they were going to charge for online gameplay, which I called many moons ago. But yeah, that's one of the things I said. I said they're doing everything that Microsoft did last gen. Third-party deals.
They want to be Xbox, man.
Charging people for online. The marketing that they're doing. They're doing every move that Microsoft did.
They are.
And,
The fans won't admit it because they'll just point to some niche ass Japanese games to prove otherwise. But really,
right.
they want to be they want to be Xbox, man.
They do, but for a good reason. And I tell people, people always ignore me when I say this. They always say, "Oh, it's worldwide that matters," blah 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 blah. And I'm like, look, if you really, let's put this into perspective. Last generation, the Wii won, PlayStation 3 came in second, finally, and Microsoft came in third. But if you look at the numbers in the United States, Microsoft dominated not even just the United States, all of North America. They dominated last generation. And then I remind them that North America is the biggest gaming country in the world, or continent, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know how far it goes. I don't know if they include United States, Canada, and South America, or just North America. But it's the biggest market. It's the biggest video game market in the world. It surpassed Japan. Europe's kind of like, it's kiltering back and forth with Europe. Europe is huge too, but U.S. has been the biggest gaming market for some time now. And when you're fighting for market share, and it's a worldwide market, but you're not winning the United States, that's a big deal. And I was telling people, I was like, forget the worldwide numbers. If you're not winning the United States, you're scheming of ways to capture that market. Sony has finally done that. They've captured the United States, but Microsoft is less than 1 million behind them. And who buys the most shooters? Who pays the most DLC? Buys the most DLC? You got to look at all. You got to keep all these things in mind. And this is all factual shit. This isn't just me, fanboying or.
Because I agree with you 100%, man. This is something that people don't want to admit, but it is what it is, man. You pointed out all the right reasons, all the significant, real factual reasons why this is so.
Yeah.
And just a minute, and look, Sony. Nobody's saying Sony's winning right now. So, but for him to make that comment, yeah, you could say, oh yeah, da da. To me, I feel like that was an insecure comment, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you even need to say, oh yeah, all the shooters are coming here now?
To get more people to buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just want, like, oh yeah, still come here, please. We are the new Xbox. That's what that comment was.
Yeah.
That was the comment. We are the new Xbox.
And they're smart
as well. Because they, Battlefront's coming as well. They probably want to look good, so people buy that on PS4 as well.
But here's the other thing. I've mentioned this before, and I'm like, when you're talking about consoles and game sales and all this stuff, it is a business. There is no console war. The console war is fought on the internet. It is a business. Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they want to make profit margins, and high profit margins. And when last year, I don't care if Microsoft wasn't selling Xbox 360s in Laos. They got all those Xbox Live subscribers. They're making $50 million a month off of Xbox Live. $50 million a month. I think I calculated this a couple of years ago, how much money Microsoft was making. I just took all their subscribers and multiplied. It was some crazy number. Yeah. And I'm like, and Sony was like, we don't want to pay you to play you don't want to charge you to play online, blah, 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 blah. It's not right. PSN is free. And I'm like, Sony, Microsoft is making a killing just off of Xbox Live alone. They don't have to sell any games. People didn't understand this. Microsoft never had to make first-party games because they were making.
I disagree with you, man. They understood it. They understood it, man. They just didn't want to. They didn't want to understand it.
Yeah.
Because it was Xbox. You know what I mean? So now that they have to pay for PSN, now they all of a sudden understand it. They understand it completely now.
Exactly. And let me tell you something. When they had that hack with the PlayStation 3, the PSN hack, a lot of people was like, well, it's free, so you get what you pay for. So now that Sony is charging you for these servers, we have higher expectations. It's like, okay, Sony, there better not be no motherfucking hack this generation because I'm paying money to your ass now.
Yeah.
You know? And Sony took it even a step further with PS Now. You know, we were wondering for years, what are they doing with Gaikai? Well, that's PS Now. So they got all these services. Now who's making millions of dollars a month? Sony. So you can't hate on them for copying Microsoft's business model because it fucking works.
It's like what I said. Don't reinvent the wheel. Put rims on it.
Yeah.
That's what Sony said. Fuck that. We just gonna copy everything these dudes are doing. I just hate when fans don't realize it or just don't want to admit it.
It drives me crazy.
Like, just admit, like, Microsoft is your daddy, man. It's cool. It's cool to admit this, man. Like, just be cool about it. You could be better than your father. Think about it.
Yep. The student becomes better than the master.
Your father.
Yeah. But well, even when Sony came out with trophies, do you honestly think trophies would exist without achievements? No.
Oh no.
Is that a bad thing that they copied Microsoft's achievements? No, because after that, Steam copied it too. It's no big deal. You know, give credit where it's due. You know, Microsoft copied some Sony stuff too.
You know, look, the Oculus, and then look what happened. You
Yeah.
know, now we get to play. What was that? Robinson, the Journey of Robinson or whatever. I was looking at that the other day. I'm like, yo, I wouldn't be here without the Oculus.
Yeah. I got my Oculus sitting on my desk, man. I love it, dude. I've taken that thing off my face because I got so scared playing games.
If we didn't have a Nintendo Wii, we wouldn't have the PlayStation Move.
Yep, exactly. It is what it is.
I would argue and say this, and this might be controversial. I think Sony is the most copying. You know, PlayStation has the most copying brand out there. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm just saying it. You know, fuck it. I'll say it. I don't care. You know, they'll get at me. But
I can't wait to see the comments this week.
Yeah, this gonna explode. I don't even know if I can say that. But
well, I'm not saying that they copy and make it worse, though. I'm just saying they can be. You know, they have an Apple effect on some things. I think because Apple ain't always first to do shit.
Nope, they claim they are though. Oh, look at we've created the smartwatch. Pretentious assholes.
But they make it hot.
Yeah. You can buy one for $10,000.
Yeah, but like you see what Gary said, they make it hot. Now that's arguable, but at the same time, you know, it's something that the consensus is so people think PlayStation. Well, trophies wouldn't be here without achievements, but I like where trophies are better.
And that's fine.
So.
I like trophies. I think trophies are cool. I like the fact that I'll tell you something I like about trophies that's better than achievements. It's to get that 1,000 score for achievements. Sometimes it's something that's really difficult that you have to do. Like I was trying to get 1,000 for Super Puzzle Fighter, but I couldn't do that combo to get it. It was a pain in the butt. Trophies, it's like there's no gamer score involved. So you're not really worried about the score. Like, if I get a gold, I'm happy. I don't need a platinum, because gold means you completed the game or you did what. But on Microsoft's side, if you don't got 1,000 points, you're not complete.
Yeah, you're not complete.
And you're not adding that to your gamer score. That 1,000 points has to go to your gamer score because your gamer score is fucking everything. Whereas PlayStation, it's pretty much how many platinums you get, but I'm not a platinum hunter. Yeah. So I could be happy with my gold trophy. Whereas if you look at all my games on Xbox, I think I maybe have one game that has 1,000 gamer score.
Yeah.
So
on 360, a lot of games look very incomplete just because I didn't have every unlocked for it, and I was like, damn, it makes me think I never fully experienced the game. I'm like, what am I missing?
Right. Whereas with Sony, you could just look and it's like, okay, he didn't get the platinum, but he did everything else. Whereas Microsoft, he doesn't have 1,000 points. He missed something.
Yeah.
What did he miss? Why does he not have 1,000? Whereas PlayStation, right away, well, he got everything but the platinum because it's identified like that. Whereas the score, it's just a little bit different. But
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're all shooter consoles as far as
Rich,
I'm
you got
concerned.
something to add to that?
Oh no, hey, listen, you guys said a lot. I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, I think you've already said that. Yeah, Destiny, that was a big marketing push for that last year. Sony has a deal with Call of Duty, and of course Battlefront and the Battlefront commercial. So we already know that by them having all that stuff, it will be very easy. But again, I'm looking at the source of who made that comment. Sony marketing manager.
Yeah.
He's not going to say, "Oh, Xbox is the lead." No, he's supposed to say this stuff.
Right.
That's no, but you guys, you handled the situation perfectly. You said everything you needed to say. But I am interested to see what the comments will be when you said the controversial stuff too. So, yeah, we'll see about that.
I'd like to add to that Sony also said last generation that they weren't going to pay for any third-party deals.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
They were very specific about that. They said they didn't want to pay for third-party deals. They wanted to focus on first-party games.
Man, Sony just says whatever's going to make the game, fall in love with them. And it's smart.
Yeah.
It's smart. You know, it's like, they say whatever the fuck y'all want to hear, man. It's going to be sunny tomorrow despite the rain, whatever.
It's like the Call of Duty Black Ops marketing deal. How they got the Call of Duty deal this generation, but it really wasn't this generation. It started with Black Ops, didn't it? Because didn't Microsoft have it all the way up until Advanced Warfare? I think so.
Yeah.
So now Sony has it, and the funny thing is like Sony's like, we got the marketing, and it's like this huge deal. Sony's got the Call of Duty marketing deal. That means they're going to sell more copies on PlayStation, all this stuff. And then at the same time, Microsoft's like, we want to put more focus into our first-party games.
Yeah.
So we're not paying for Call of Duty. We already did that. That's sloppy seconds. They got tired of it. They grew tired of it. It's like, we don't need to do that anymore.
It's a lot of money, but I gotta admit, man, Microsoft lost a lot of steam, man, because
Oh, fuck yeah.
I remember when games like Call of Duty would come out, like even, like they used to seem more eventful when Xbox was running the show. And I think there is a significant people won't admit this. They won't admit this at all. But when there's an American company that's leading in America, these game releases are a lot more eventful. And so
I agree.
Like Call of Duty was eventful when it came out. It was an event. It was a spectacle. That shit, I don't feel like that right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Dude,
I might be wrong.
I got to respond to that too, but go ahead.
Go ahead, Gary. Actually, Gary was saying something.
I think it's more just because Call of Duty is losing steam itself, because like that the fatigue is setting with that series. I think. What were you gonna say, Torrance?
I was gonna say that the first midnight launch, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because this is the first one I can remember, was Halo 2. I thought. Wasn't that one of the first midnight launches? We could research it, but I remember because I was there. I went to pick up my copy, and I won a copy standing in line. It was the first midnight launch I'd ever been to. It was the first one I could remember.
Huh.
Microsoft did all that shit.
Yeah, the Mountain Dew and all that bullshit.
Yeah, they started all that.
Yeah,
But,
the Doritos.
Sony is a Japanese company, so they might look at it a different way. Like like for Halo, Microsoft had a huge, like all day was like a Halo launch event.
Yeah.
I don't think Sony does that for their biggest games. I don't think they do launch events like that. But again, correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, yeah, I'm willing to be corrected. That's the thing. Look, and this is for anybody listening. Like, I say what I say, but I'm not like this. I'm not like this guy who doesn't, who's afraid of changing his opinion or being corrected. And so, if anybody in the comments, feel like I've said anything, just prove me wrong, man. It ain't nothing. It ain't no big deal. I ain't gonna argue with you over it, but I mean, I agree with him. I think that Microsoft being an American company and being that it was only winning in America, when all that energy, all that marketing dollars, all of that focus only, solely focused on this area, it really made gaming fun. It made it different. It made it a spectacle when these releases came out and all these different things happened. I'm not feeling that energy right now. You could say that, I know Rich said it was across the board in general, not just necessarily, not just necessarily like Microsoft versus Sony, but he says like Call of Duty losing its steam. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that too, but I don't know. I mean, I just feel like when there's a focus on America, we get the benefit because we're in America, and so that's what I feel like. So,
all right,
but it's not that way. So
Sounds good. All right, we're gonna get to Halo. We got one more thing to address before.
I see the last topic. Anne Hathaway is gonna play.
Oh no, that's not the topic. Hey, don't get that name, please. We don't want to get no lawsuits.
No lawsuits?
Yeah.
I was just looking at her site the other day, man.
What?
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised they didn't get a lawsuit from.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, let's table that discussion. So here's one topic before we get to the main topic. We discovered this week that there is going to be, well, we already knew that there's going to be a story DLC pack for Uncharted 4, but the developers do not know what that's going to be. There was a recent interview they had a couple weeks ago, and they said we don't know what we're going to do for that yet. Now, this brought up a question of the season passes and the fact that a lot of developers don't know what the content is, or they've been just announcing a season pass with no content at all and said, "Oh, just trust us," because they're doing this for Fallout as well. So I figured I wanted to find out what do you guys think about that when you know there's going to be a season pass and you don't have no idea what's on it.
Can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my thoughts on that. I know Bethesda said they're doing a DLC expansion stuff, but they're known to have good quality expansions in their games. With Skyrim, the other Fallout games and stuff. But with Naughty Dog, I'd say the only standout expansion they've had is the Last of Us DLC they had with Ellie. Besides that, their DLC hasn't really been that significant, so I wouldn't really buy a season pass for Uncharted 4 ahead of time because who knows what to expect,
Okay.
But yeah, that's my thought on it.
Any other thoughts?
If I don't, here's the thing. There's a reason why I give DICE and EA $120 when their games come out, because I know what they're going to release. If you I don't buy season passes for anybody else. I just don't do it. Call of Duty, it's not worth it. What other Destiny? Fuck no. I give DICE my money. Okay, DICE proved themselves to me back with Battlefield Bad Company 2. And when Battlefield 3 came out and they showed all the expansions they were going to release over the course of an entire year, and they said it's going to cost you about $120, I gave them my money. And it was the best investment I ever made, especially if you look at the amount of hours I put in these games. Same thing with Battlefield 4. Take my money, please. I'm not yet sold, however, on the season pass for Battlefront. I need more information before I invest in that. More than likely, I'll get it. But I need to see what I'm getting for my money. So if you're going to talk about season pass and you're not going to tell me what's in it or give me any idea what it's about, I'm not giving you that money. And I probably won't buy the individual DLC packs either. It's not. It's the reason why I stopped paying for Destiny. Oh, but The Taken King's really good. The Taken King should have been out last year, or Destiny should have been released this year with all that content, including Taken King. Then it would have been worth the $60. And I'll stop there.
All right. Anything to add, Anthony?
I mean, look, Uncharted is the hands down one of the best game series I've ever played. And so, I mean, as a big fan of Uncharted, if you're a big fan of Uncharted and you're listening, I think it's a no-brainer, to want to be interested in these season passes. But what I will say is this: that when these developers don't even know what the content is going to be, because they don't really, they're gonna make shit up. Like, I mean, right now it's to a point where you're gonna do something because it's good business. Has nothing to do with how it's creatively built into whatever we're doing. We just know we want to do one because we want to make more money. And I think that's the case here. Not saying that the content won't be hot or it won't be engaging, but it's purely a money grab. I think that tells you right there. Purely a money grab. And so hopefully, fingers crossed it's good content, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, keep it short and sweet and to the point. So we can move on to the topic you really want to discuss.
I didn't really want to discuss it.
No, we got to discuss it because apparently when I looked at the throwdown and I saw it's about 111 comments now, people are still talking about this game because they want it to stay in everybody's memory when the reality is it's about to be forgotten next week. So let's talk about it right now. Halo 5 Guardians. Yes.
Wait, time out, man.
What's that?
What game ain't forgotten about? Like there's rarely a game that comes out that stays on the top of people's minds like that.
Destiny.
All right, but I said rarely. You know what I mean? I didn't say there's no game. I said there's rarely a game, right? And so we had this discussion before on this show.
Yes,
how gamers have short attention spans, and so we've talked about this, and so for them to place that on Halo as if it's the only game that's gonna lose my attention, especially in a fall, and this is coming from a dude who fuck with Halo, by the way, especially during a great fall lineup. Of course, I'm gonna not think about Halo when Fallout 4 comes out. Of course, I'm gonna not think about Fallout 4 when I move on to the Tomb Raider title. So I'm just trying to make a point here. Like, attention spans get pulled left and right. There's too much content now.
Yes.
For one person to be stuck on something.
Yep.
With a significant amount of time. I'm just being honest.
Well, some people though all they play is Halo, so we can't. Those people will stay with Halo even when all the other stuff drops. So it depends on preferences, I think too. Somebody who say, well, I ain't trying to buy Battlefront, but I do want Halo, and that I'm good for the rest of the year. That could happen as well. But you make some good points. But what I was going to say is, yes, Microsoft reported that Halo 5 Guardians, that 400 million has been sold, including games and hardware. There are no numbers for software yet, although I did hear that they did say that it was the #1 highest selling digital Xbox One title, I believe. So what are your thoughts on that, specifically the sales? Because we don't know exactly how much it sold in software because they have combined the total figure that they decided to release. So what do y'all think about that?
So this includes digital, physical copies, and the console bundles and stuff.
And even the, I guess the controllers, the Halo controllers were included in that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't think they sold a ton of those. But like I told everybody, if you look back at the Halo 3 and Halo 4 launch, or even GTA and Call of Duty launches, they always give you a dollar value. They don't tell you the actual sales until NPD drops. It's always dollars. Microsoft's always had this thing where, actually both Microsoft and Activision had this thing where their games outsell blockbuster movies. But it's always dollars, how much it made first day, how much it made the first week. They give you that dollar amount, but you don't find out actual sales until NPD drops. So it's nothing really new. This is what Microsoft's been doing since Halo 2, I think.
I mean, I know we got a few critics out there. Look, I don't like Halo, so look, I'm just spitting some real shit. We got critics out there, man, and that want to look at these numbers and say, "Oh, it's just combined. It's combined." But when is a franchise making $400 million something to sneeze at?
Yeah.
Like, when did that become just because it's combined? Like, the fact that this franchise even made that much money, like, $400 million ain't nothing to sneeze at, in my opinion. And so, I still feel like it's a good number.
In a week.
In a week. Almost $500 million in a week. Like, please show me another game franchise that's moving that's not on PC, that has millions of users.
Not on PC? Oh.
Only GTA, really.
Yeah. That's on PC.
Well, I mean, like, that's not a MMO with, like, tons of people paying monthly. But, like,
right.
Like, what other franchise is really doing shit like that? Yeah, GTA, you know, like, I just can't, like, I can't see why people are trying to pick straws at that and try to tear that apart and make it seem bad in some kind of way, like.
Because Microsoft being successful to these people is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So they try to downplay the success. It's straight fanboyism. That's all it is. And that's why you got to correct them and say this is what Microsoft has done every time a Halo game has been released. It's nothing new. Activision does it. Rockstar does it. It's the way the industry does it. If you want hard sales numbers, next week MPD will drop and you'll get those numbers. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's just, this is what I don't understand. It's like people have been gaming for years. Do you not see the trends? Do you not see the trends? Every year it's the same thing.
People love the narrative. That's what it really comes down to. They love it. It's almost like cheering for a favorite sports team for some people.
Yeah. Yep.
They want to be on one side. Sometimes I look at these gaming forums and I'm just thinking, like, why not just have every console? Like, you win no matter what. And so some of these people, they don't want to win no matter what. They just want to get one thing and stick with it. Which makes me think that I think the gaming audience is a lot younger than people assume, especially online.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lot younger as people who can't really, who don't have a job and can't really afford to have both consoles. Maybe they family men who can't, they got families to take care of, so they can't buy the one at one. So, but just because you can only afford one console doesn't mean, oh man, this other thing has to go to shit, or else I'm gonna just feel bad. What? At least pray for multi-platform. And I mean, Microsoft right now, if you got a PC, if you have a PC that's really good, you're sitting lovely, man, because like Microsoft is almost releasing almost all their games on PC. And so if you have a PS4, get a really good PC. If you don't want to get an Xbox or you can't get an Xbox, just invest in a really good game.
Oh, you don't know? You don't know? Most PS4 gamers claim to have a gaming PC because anytime something gets released on Xbox and also on PC, they say, "Oh, I'll get the PC version."
They bullshit.
Motherfucker, if you could get the PC version, you got a gaming PC. So what the fuck? And they all say, "Oh, I'll get the PC version."
They don't even have PCs that can run. Look,
yeah,
it's not going to work on your Dell Latitude, bro.
Yeah, they got enough power to make a post on a forum. They all say it. I'm like, "Oh, I'll just get the PC version." You fucking come on.
Play Killer Instinct on their ThinkPad. Like, chill out.
Yeah, it's just like, and I look at it's like I look at it like this. If you have a PC that can play these games at 1080p 60, every single game you have, you can afford to own both consoles. That's the way I look at it. Because my PC, even if you take the special things I got for it, for video editing and anything, that's over $1,500. So if you got a hardcore gaming PC, you can afford a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. That's a drop in the bucket for you. That's the cost of a video card. You know? Well, why would I get an Xbox? Well, there are some games on Xbox that you can't play anywhere else. So if you're that hardcore and you want I can't wait till Cuphead comes out.
Yes.
Can't play Cuphead on anything else. I got to have that game. I need an Xbox for that. If I want to play Bloodborne, I need a PlayStation. If I want to play Halo 5, I need an Xbox. You know, Sunset Overdrive, I need an Xbox. Uncharted, I need a PlayStation. You know, Elite Dangerous, I'd rather play on PC. You know, it's just, I don't know.
We're gonna have some good comments, man. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Make sure you definitely leave your comments, good or bad. You know, let us know what you think.
Hey, wait a second. You wanted to say something about Quantum Break?
Oh yeah, I mean that's like we're talking about now. You know, they mentioned what's homeboy with the Max Payne face name again? I think it's Sam Lake, if I'm not sure.
Hello, my name is Sam Lake.
So
we have the 1080p's.
I think he mentioned in the Game Informer interview, or if not a Game Informer, some interview that he would love for Quantum Break to come to PC, and so Microsoft owns that IP completely. So it's something that I have no clue if it really can happen, but it's something that he wants to happen. And so like that, it just proves the point we're making right now, where it's just like, you can still play these games if you got a really capable PC. And then Alan Wake 2, he also rumored that might be coming out, or not coming out, but he rumored that they would like to make.
Let me clue you in. If you don't already know.
Okay, cool.
Remedy Games was first a PC game developer, or primarily a PC game developer before they did consoles. They were actually upset at the fact that Alan Wake came out on Xbox first before it came out on PC. They wanted to finish the PC one because that was the big DX11 boom, or was it DX10 boom? They had all these features they wanted to implement, but they had to stop to do the Xbox version, kind of like what Microsoft did with Bungie when they first Halo came out. I'd also like to let you know that Alan Wake did come out for the PC.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that Quantum Break will probably come out for the PC. That's what Remedy likes to do. They like releasing games on PC. Microsoft has nothing to lose by releasing games on PC. I keep telling people, it's not hurting the Xbox if they release games on PC. I am sitting here fighting, trying to get people just to try PC gaming. They're like, no, it's too complex. I don't want to play on PC. Oh, that's what I got a console for. People who got the money to buy PC. I don't want to do PC's not for game. Blah 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 blah. You know, and then they're like, oh, Microsoft's stupid for releasing it on PC. And it's just like, well, people like you don't care. You're going to stick to console, so they're still going to make that console money. You know, console gamers are sticking to console. They're not moving to PC. It's not happening. There may be a few out there that actually want to get into PC gaming. They've had an interest in it. But there's a lot of console gamers that just like, no fucking way am I gaming on PC. So how can you say Microsoft is wrong for publishing their games on PC and console when the market is split? Because there's a lot of PC gamers that don't play on console, and there's a ton of console gamers that don't play on PC. So what happens when they do this? Microsoft makes more money. You know? PC gamers don't need a reason to buy an Xbox. They're not going to buy a fucking Xbox. If you want to buy an Xbox, you're going to buy an Xbox. The game existing on PC isn't going to stop you. You know, that whole argument about, oh, it's stupid that they're releasing their games on PC, or there's no reason to get an Xbox. Shut the fuck up with that, because you same people are telling me there's no reason to game on PC. So there's got to be millions of console gamers out there that want an Xbox because they don't plan on buying a PC.
You know what? Honestly, now that you're saying this, it kind of see Microsoft are long-term thinkers, and I'm pretty sure that the conversation you're having right now is one that they've had maybe even months and months before they even released the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Because what I'm thinking about now is Xbox One's main feature set were television, and so to me, in my mind, why would they focus on TV on the Xbox? easy because now it gives you a reason to buy it if you're a PC like gives you a reason just to have the console outside of just games.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are a person who just plays games on a PC and Microsoft is releasing their games on every single platform known to man, what reason is there to have an Xbox? Of course, it's a glorified cable box. That's the reason. And so I think that's something that they thought about, was just trying to make it that feature set, and I'm thinking that's maybe one of the reasons why they focused on it early on.
And as a diehard PC gamer and a guy who's into tech, let me tell you one of the most wonderful things that occurred this generation. And I praise both Microsoft and Sony for doing it. Built-in Twitch streaming on both the consoles. You know what that means? That means that I don't have to hook up these little pieces of hardware to capture video or to stream video to Twitch. It's one of the greatest things that they've ever done, because for $3.99 or $3.49 or whatever you're paying for your console, you get your console, you get your games, you get all your TV apps, and you get a machine that streams your games to fucking Twitch. Now, this little AverMedia thing, I think this cost me $80. I think it's cost me $80, and it records HDMI, records game footage. And I had to get all this additional hardware, HDMI splitter, cables, just to be able to record onto this, or to pass through this onto my PC so I could edit the video. Now, I get on Xbox, I say, Xbox, record that, Xbox, record that, Xbox, record that, I get all my clips together, I upload them to the cloud, I edit them on my PC, and I upload it to YouTube. I'm done. Okay, one of the greatest things Microsoft and Sony did, nobody ever talks about this, was game streaming. Now, everybody has a device that streams games. Who the fuck is going to buy, what console gamer is going to buy a gaming PC to stream games now? I don't stream on my PC anymore unless it's a PC game. But it's all a matter of convenience, as they say. Well, it's more convenient for me to say Xbox record that or start broadcast than to use all this fucking shit to stream my console games to the internet. So yeah, hooray for Microsoft and Sony for doing that. But now you're getting a complete package. If you just want to stream games, there's a reason to own a fucking Xbox. You know, that's what people are doing nowadays. They're streaming. That's the craze. So do you build a PC or do you buy a fucking Xbox or PlayStation 4? There's tons of reasons.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I love that. It's fucking awesome.
Preach, bro.
This is very interesting. We covered a lot of good topics today, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gary, you have anything to say? Are you good? I think a lot of
These guys pretty much said it all, man. I mean, as far as Halo, I really want to play the game. I don't have an Xbox One yet. You know, I want to play the game. I heard good and bad things about it, but I always liked Halo multiplayer, so you know, I definitely need to get an Xbox One at some point and try it out. Or I'm also hoping that it will come to PC, of course, but we'll see what happens.
Last Halo on PC was Halo 1, and that was by Gearbox Software. And it was a great fucking game.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have to hack our Xboxes to play online anymore. You guys remember that? They had this thing called X something, and you ran it on your PC, and it took the net code from your Xbox, the local area net code, and it made it think it was still a local area network, but it was actually putting you out on the internet so you could play against other people.
What's it called, X-Band?
Not X-Band. It was something else. I can't remember the name of it.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't put my name. I can't put a name to it.
It fucking worked. It was dope because Halo 1 on Xbox was not an online game. We used to hook up 3 Xboxes and play in my loft. That's how we used to play, multiplayer. Until they came out with this tool. Then you could literally get online and play Halo 1 online on your Xbox, on your OG Xbox. It was fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. But here's what I'm hearing, just to say, I'm hearing good and bad things too. All the bad things have to do with the single-player campaign. All the good things have to do with multiplayer. If you go to any Halo thread, a common theme that you're seeing is best multiplayer since Halo 2.
Yeah.
which is strange for me because I hated Halo 2 multiplayer. I didn't really like it that much, but a lot of people are saying it's the best multiplayer the series has ever seen. Better than Reach, better than 3, and I'm enjoying it. So, if anything, I think you'll like that, Gary, the multiplayer. But whatever.
Yeah, because I'm not even I got into Halo from ODST. That was like my first Halo that I beat. So
it was dope,
I'm
wasn't
not that familiar with the story anyway. So the story doesn't really.
Microsoft got to take an L for that, though. I'm gonna tell you why. They placed a lot of emphasis on that story. They put a lot of energy behind that single player campaign.
Yeah.
Like the build up to that shit was crazy. Like a lot of energy. They even put out like 2 podcast series and shit. Like what the fuck? Like they put a lot of energy. Like some people are arguing that the podcast series that they released was better than a single player in the game.
Oh.
Like the story at least was.
Yeah, and I'm hearing you had to like read the books as well to fully understand it and stuff.
Yeah. So if anybody will listen to the podcast, it's called Hunt the Truth. It's on SoundCloud. And that shit is dope. That shit is dope. I actually think they should make a game based on that.
Well, after these results, I can bet we're going to see a lot more Halo games.
Yeah.
Halo is not dead.
For sure. For sure. All right, Rich.
Yeah,
Wrap it up, man.
That's it. That's it for this week's show. Any final closing statements? How about you go first? Any final shout-outs, Anthony?
Oh, man, just shout out to Torrance for jumping on here today. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the whole Koalition family. Shout out to all. Yo, we need to get the ladies on the podcast, the Koalition ladies on the podcast. It's about time for the world to hear y'all voices.
Yeah.
Stop thinking it's a whole bunch of dudes around here. And I just think, just thinking, everybody's doing a really good job, and I'm excited for the fall, man. I'm excited about gaming in general. Like, I can't wait to play all these dope-ass games that are going to come out no matter what system you are, whether you're on PC, whether you're on PlayStation, whether you're on Xbox, whether you just like playing Candy Crush on your phone, wherever the hell you at. Just like I'm just excited about what's coming this fall. So that's it.
How about you, Mr. Davis?
Well, first I want to thank you guys for having me on the co-op. My life is complete now. I want to give a shout out to all the fans that keep coming to our sites and listening to our stuff and reading our articles. Really appreciate that. Please remember there aren't a lot of us in the industry, not a lot of black folks in the industry, not a lot of Latino folks in the industry. So the fact that you guys keep returning to our sites and listening to our podcasts is appreciated. So we do this for the fans, and we appreciate you being fans. So I want to say that. And check me out on VGWarzone.com, Twitter, @TorDavis, and on Xbox and PSN, it's Versellios70. That's VERSELLIOS70.
Sounds good. Definitely. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, just big shouts to Torrance. It's an honor to have him on the show. I've been listening to the Warzone, I listened to every episode since 2009 or something. So
damn,
I'm a big fan of the show.
Big fan.
Yeah, shouts to Ice and Shaz, all the guys on there. And you guys need to bring Jagon back, man. I miss Jagon.
I tried to get him back. He won't come back. I actually talked to him on Skype. He's done with that.
That's a shame, man.
Yeah, he's cracked me up, man. He's not coming back.
Yeah, shouts to all the people that leave comments. I can't wait to see the comment section this week. Yeah, shouts to other Zinc, because those numbers ain't looking too far off from what he predicted. So I guess we gotta wait for the MPD.
He's fucking got a Woodrow after hearing that. They said my name on the podcast. Billy, come look. They mentioned me on their podcast, Billy. I told them it was gonna sell. I told them. They don't listen.
That's the Fern Gully as well.
Yeah.
Trolling that dude.
I told these motherfuckers I got a business degree. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna hate me for that.
Oh, that's all right. No, he'll leave a comment. It's all good. Hey, so you done, Gary?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. So yeah, I also would like to thank Torrance for coming on the show. I know this was a last minute deal. I'd like to thank you for being on as well, Anthony. Michael A., we reached out to you. You still didn't come. So maybe next week you will come and tell us your thoughts on Halo 5.
He's playing Smite or Halo, I bet. I'm willing to bet money.
Yeah? Well, yeah, he might be now. Yeah, he might be now. He wasn't earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout outs to the fans. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Co-op. Stay tuned. We got a lot of exciting things coming later this week. And, hey, play games, have fun. We'll talk to y'all later.
That's right.